And this is a big year, right? 2017, this is our 10th benefit. So Daisy would have been 10 this year, and this is our 10th benefit, and it's kind of emotional in that regard. But beautiful, beautiful having everyone here. I'd like to send out some special thank yous, because, like I said, there's people that have done a lot tonight, there's people that have done a lot in the last 10 years. First and foremost, our parents, Neil, Grace, Greg, and Judy, have spent countless hours donating money, donating and selling auction items, and just a huge part of this success. My brothers and sisters, Erin, my younger sister, she's older, she looks older. Dawn, Lori, where are you guys? Dean, my brother-in-law, even though he hasn't proposed yet. Remember that a few years ago, good shit? Every year, buddy. Todd, Judy, they just got engaged. So thank you guys. I mean, I can't thank you enough. You've done so much for us. Coast Catering, all this food, this is the 5th or 6th year they've done it. They give us a huge discount, so I know they make no money on this. So thank you guys. Everybody, your service, you're just sweet. The food is good. I actually got to eat this time for the first time. The food is really good. We got DJ Brandon. Where's Brandon? Woo. So he's taking pictures and rocking this good tune, so he's the man. Thank you. Karen, where's Karen taking pictures? Karen Stevenson. Also, great artist. Do you have a silent auction item? So bid it out, man. She's doing pictures for free, so you guys gotta bid that out. And then just everybody else. I mean, I can't thank you enough. There's so many people that have donated time and energy and resources and money. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This year, we are doing something a little different to mark the 10th anniversary. We're kind of helping UCSD launch a new program that Dr. Kim, where's Dr. Kim? Did he already leave? I thought you left, so you were speaking. Uh-oh. So I don't know enough about the program to talk about it. But the first $25,000 raised tonight will be matched for this new program that he'll talk about. And Neil, my dad's donating that 25. He doesn't know it, but thank you, Dad. Super nice of you, buddy. I appreciate it. Pressure's on, man. You better do it. When we got the program started, Lori's going to take over, but I just had a couple of closing comments. I say this also every year. This is a really bittersweet kind of few months leading up to this. Obviously, we have a lot of pain. We miss our daughter. I think about having Daisy here. She'd be 10, and I could picture her running around. I could picture her with my 2 daughters. But then I think about all the joy she's brought, and I talk about the endowment, we talk about the money, but it really isn't, it's not about that. It's about bringing people together. It's about helping countless families at UCSD, nurses and doctors and just these beautiful people. So it's just a gift. It's painful for us still. You lose a child, you just don't recover, but this is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So it's all because of everybody in this room. So thank you. Two more quick comments. Special guest, Dr. Warshak. You're going to hear more about Dr. Warshak, but she's an angel, she's a saint, and she's the only reason we're here. And you'll talk more about it, but she gave us hope, and she gave Daisy life when nobody else would. So thank you. She flew from Cincinnati to come to San Diego. And she's what a doctor is all about, if you ask me. And last but not least, my wife, and I'm looking at her, still wondering why she married me. Doesn't make any sense, but I'm holding on to that. She does all this. I know that surprises you. But this is all her. This is all her legacy, and I love you. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. As Bill said, we're so excited and honored to celebrate number 10 with all of you. So many of you, I don't know if you've noticed the pictures, but I've had pictures scrolling of pictures from all of our past 10 events. And so many of you have been here for 7, 8, 9, and even all 10 of our events. So thank you. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your love. Thank you all for being here tonight. Over the years, we've had some amazing, amazing speakers. I was starting to get a little stressed because we had so many good speakers right away. We had Ralph Benershka and his daughter Carrie, who was a baby in the NICU at UCSD. We had Amy Tomlinson, who was the first female to ever wear a Blue Angels number, who was also a baby in the NICU. And then we've also had many parents come share their, hi Karen. We've also had many parents with their amazing, miraculous, emotional stories come speak at our events. And some of those families and parents are here tonight. And thank you for continuing to be part of our Daisy family. For tonight, we decided to keep our special milestone event about Daisy and our Daisy family, her doctors and her nurses and her therapists at UCSD. So I'd like to, as Bill started to do, I'd like to give them a quick little word of appreciation and thank you. And I will start with Dr. Warshak once again. Dr. Warshak, we met Dr. Warshak after we first started to find out that we had problems with Daisy's pregnancy. And we have been encouraged to terminate the pregnancy, and we were going through a bunch of stuff, and I don't even remember exactly how we even got to you, but an angel brought us to you. And Dr. Warshak gave us hope. She was one of the first doctors to give us hope, and she was with us for the rest of the ride. She was there at Daisy's delivery, talking about the Bengals. I was just joking with her. She was our angel. She's the one that gave Daisy her life. And as Bill mentioned, she now lives in Kentucky. Dr. Warshak and her husband Steve moved about a year after we went through everything with Daisy, and we have not seen her since then. Wow. And had shed a few tears when she walked in through the door tonight, but they are here tonight for number 10, and thank you so much for being here. Do you want to say a quick word? Okay. I threw this on her last minute. I'm like, do you want to say something? She is a rock star doctor. She has 4 or 5 kids? 4 kids. She's an amazing, she runs marathons. She's an amazing, just an amazing superwoman. Wow.
I'm glad she prefaced this by saying she put me on the spot. I was speaking a few minutes ago. But I am so honored to be here. I truly am. I'm just inspired so much by this. So many times I'm involved with families going through tragedies and the worst circumstances, and to see how they have done this. It's just amazing. It's absolutely awe-inspiring. So I do remember the day that we met, and like many couples, I think they came to me hoping maybe I would have different news for them or something different to say. But unfortunately, after having done Daisy's ultrasound, I realized that their daughter was very, very sick. And although I'm glad if I gave you hope, and I'm glad that I gave you some strength to continue through with the pregnancy and bring Daisy into the world and celebrate the life that she had. That's why I do this. I'm glad if I was able to do that. It means the world to me. I felt like I was again in the final, she's sick. And that's always really hard when you tell families that, because you just don't expect it when you get pregnant. You know, you see the beautiful babies running around and you don't see all the things that can go wrong and all the illnesses. But then look at this. Look at the legacy. That little girl was in the flesh here for far too short a time, weeks, few months. And yet, look at the impact that she's had. And how many of us go through decades of our life and don't have the same legacy, the same impact that that little girl had. And why? She lived, and she survived. And she gave us so much love, and she took in so much love. And it may have just been, wasn't profound words or anything like that. All it was squeezing your finger and cuddling up with you and a couple of gassy grins. But she threw a heck of a party when she was here, and I got to go to that, which I was very, very happy about. But I'm absolutely just moved and inspired by what you all have done. I think you inspire us to think about our legacies and what kind of trail we leave behind in our life and the people that we touch and affect. And I'm absolutely honored to have been a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Another amazing doctor, Dr. Menino. Dr. Menino and Dr. Wershak worked together, and I remember countless very difficult meetings discussing Daisy's current status, her everything going on, and very difficult times. But with Dr. Wershak, Dr. Menino was a source of love and light, and we just thank you as well for being our angel and for being here and for all that you've done for the world. So thank you, Dr. Menino. Next to Dr. Menino, Dr. Kim. Dr. Kim worked with us in the NICU, and then when Daisy went home, we would have very regular meetings with Dr. Kim in the hospital. Once again, very difficult times, but I feel like I'm repeating myself, but once again, you were a source of light, and your compassion and your professionalism, and we will always cherish, it was a tough time, but our times together with you, we will never forget, and our friendship with you, we thank you, and Dr. Kim's been at countless of our benefits, and thank you for being part of our family. So thank you, Dr. Kim. He's going to also speak in a couple of minutes. Nurse Julie. There she is. I gave Julie a hug when she walked in, and just her Nurse Julie smell, oh my God, just brought me back. Oh, you smell like Nurse Julie. Julie was one of Daisy's primary nurses. She was always giving little Brooke candy. I remember that very fondly. But Julie is a lovely, lovely, beautiful lady, and thank you again for being in our life, and we love you. So thank you, Julie. There's Nancy, there she is, who's now retired, and she looks amazing. Nancy was also one of Daisy's primary nurses. She was on duty working the day that Daisy went home. I'm going to show a slideshow in a second, and you will see pictures of the happy family with Daisy in her car seat when we got to take her home, and Nurse Nancy's in those pictures. I remember lots of good times together. Nancy plays the piano, and she would play her piano music for Daisy, and you just were always a big advocate for Daisy, so thank you so much, and thank you for being here. Mandy, respiratory therapist, and once again, I was just saying earlier, I think you've been to almost all. There's just only been a couple events. The love and the dedication you guys show the babies and show Daisy, and for being here year after year. Thank you so much. You are a beautiful, beautiful human being, and I can't thank you enough for being here and for all that you do. So thank you so much. And Mary, beautiful Mary, your smile and all that you do for the NICU, your energy, you're a beautiful, compassionate, lovely lady, and you are here year after year, and thank you. Mary's the one that works with us with the fund, and what was that? Yeah, she gets to spend your money. So yeah, Mary's the one that we work with on the decisions on how to use the money, and she always has your best interest, the baby's best interest in heart, and we love working with you. So thank you, Mary. Thank you. Dr. Moore. Dr. Moore delivered Rosie. And Dr. Moore, with his music and his smile and his energy, you've also inspired us and amazed us with your passion and all that you do. He's delivered several babies of people that are in attendance tonight. I know the Tates. And you are an amazing human, amazing doctor. And he, once again, he and his beautiful wife, Peggy, are here year after year after year as well. So thank you, Dr. Moore. Oh my God, everybody. There's a lot of beautiful nurses and doctors that weren't able to make it tonight that have been here, but I think I got everybody that's here tonight. Yeah. Okay. As I mentioned, I've put together a slideshow with almost all of the cherished photos that we have of Daisy. In this slideshow, you will see, in addition to my two beautiful daughters and Daisy's loving grandparents, you will see a lot of the special faces of the people I have just mentioned. Unfortunately, Daisy was born before iPhones were so prevalent, and I don't have too many pictures, and there's a few faces that I don't have pictures of with Daisy, unfortunately, but they are there in spirit. And ladies and gentlemen, our daughter Daisy, and our NICU family.
Find me, oh, Trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dream that you dare to, why?
And now I'm delighted to bring up my dad. Oh, there you go. Daisy's grandfather. The master of most of all of these silent auction items. But for right now, he's Daisy's grandfather, and he'd like to say a few words.
So I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but I'm getting emotional, and I think that's maybe a good thing. And I don't have much. I've been thinking about tonight a little bit, but I didn't. I'm going to ramble a little bit, and a lot of what I'm going to say is going to reiterate what both Lori and Bill have talked about. But it's hard to believe it's been 10 years. It's just been unbelievable, and. I know they don't want me to do this, but I want to do it anyway, and I want to, these guys, what they went through and what we all went through 10 years ago, and, you know, taking the really, really difficult time and making the most of it, and look what they did. And we talk about legacy, and here we are 10 years later, and they've done all these amazing things, raised a lot of money, and helped hundreds of babies, is that fair to say? Hundreds of babies, and unbelievable, unbelievable. And you know, 10 years ago, Miss Brooke was not even 3 years old. And Rosie was just on the planning board. She was just being thought about. And look at her now. And last night we had a wonderful dinner, family dinner, and Rosie or Brooke had high heels on, and she comes. She's not even 13 years old. Holy moly! So, but anyway, what Bill and Lori have created is just unbelievable, and the legacy, and it just goes on, and what they've done. And you know, I had the great pleasure and honor of, I need to say this real quickly, my wife isn't here tonight, and she would love to be here, and she loves everybody, and it's another emotional point for me that she can't be here tonight. She just, as some of you know, she's had health issues for a long time, and she would love to be here, but she can't, and so please, say a little prayer for her, if you would, please. I had the great pleasure and honor of doing a eulogy at Daisy's memorial at the Immaculata, and many of you were there. And I remember so vividly, we were sitting in the first row of the pew or whatever, and I got up, turned around, and I looked out at this Immaculata that, you know what the capacity is, was 300 or 400 people. It's big. And you've been there, a lot of you have been there. And there was standing room only. Standing room only. And what a tribute to these guys, and what a tribute to Daisy. And fast forwarding to now, and what Bill and Lori have talked about is that, and I've talked about several of you tonight, is that keep coming back every year, same people, and new faces too, but it's incredible. It's incredible, and all of the donations, and people keep donating, and it's unbelievable. And you know, what's a hero? And I used to have, when I was a kid, I had these heroes of mine, but they're not heroes. You guys are heroes. These guys are heroes. And what the staff has done, and the nurses and the docs, and all you people have done to help all these babies, and so much more, that's to me that's heroism. And good for you guys. And thank you for being here. And I know there's more I should be saying, but one thing I do want to point out. So, first of all, I want to talk about Chris Eastwood over here, who's the artist. Raise your hand, come on. So, we have this wonderful painting, and it's only up to $1,100. So we have a problem. So I'm thinking, gotta go for a lot more. So Neil, what do you think? Okay, I know Paul Herring said he's in for $3,500, so I can handle this right now if you want. Anyway, this is really cool, and we've got a lot of neat auction items tonight, but this is a really special one, and it's just a pleasure to be here tonight, and thank you so much for allowing me to talk a little bit. Thank you.
Okay. And now I'd like to bring up Dr. Kim to talk a little bit more about the special pilot program that we are funding tonight for our 10th benefit.
It's very hard to follow. I tend not to be a very emotional person, as my wife can attest to, but that slideshow I wasn't expecting. I was there through most of Daisy's life, and did get the privilege of seeing the miracle that happened after birth, and probably the most special miracle of her being able to go home. With complex kids, it's such a different feeling to have a child be able to go home and experience some normality, which the Brennans were able to do, and we want that for every child. And you know, one of the things I noticed when I looked at the slideshow was this is what you saw there is what we want for every child, and that is to have the family and all the members of the family involved in the care of a child in the hospital, and of course outside of the hospital. And what we have been experiencing over time, medicine is very, very technologically savvy, and we work very hard. And for some of you who've actually visited our old unit, which was more like a 1960s NICU style that stood its ground until just last year. I often thought felt like I was in a scene from MASH, how cramped everything was, and I remember how dedicated Lori and Bill were in being able to, especially one of the rooms that they were in was terribly crammed, and having to be there day in, day out, and to kind of suffer through the physical space. And now, as of November last year, we have just an amazing single patient room space. It's futuristic and just amazing from the equipment and the physical space and the lighting, etc. But we have a problem. And the problem is medicine puts a lot of emphasis on machines, equipment, and it's very easy for us, and we did this back in the 60s and before, where, you know, baby is born and the father is outside and no one gets to touch the babies, and you have minimal visitation rights, etc. And then fast forward, we have a very, very complex unit that technologically with the best equipment and the best staff. But what we really need, which is a prescription, which we don't have all the time when we go from unit to unit, and I've seen many units, and every unit is moving to this single patient design, is that we're not having the parents and the family as part of that equation. So even in our unit, when we have a very family-centered unit, you will see many rooms that are empty, where it's just a child, and that child ought to have been in a womb and have been nurtured and spoken to and engaged, etc., and they're not getting that experience. And so we're struggling as a profession trying to figure out how do we address this particular problem of loss of family, loss of connectedness of family, particularly mother and child, and how can we make that better now that we even have the most amazing technologically advanced environments. And there's movements afoot internationally and within California particularly that are focusing holistically at trying to look at how to get education built up and a culture that's changed within the unit. So we bring mothers,